since retiring, I've been very fortunate and okay with my life path being changed by a teardrop trailer made by a good friend. That has altered my retirement. You know, I've sold my house, sold the teardrop, sadly, and bought an RV I can live in full time for now. How long? Who knows? But I'm amazed all the places I've been so far, which is a small percentage of North America, how much beauty there is in nature. And I just hope with COVID and seeing the improvements in the environment, rather than, the whole other negative side of it, but there is a lot of positive, I think, and I've been very fortunate and blessed to see the things that I've seen and seeing right now. I mean, it's beautiful out here. It's not the warmest day, it's not sunny, but how can you not appreciate any of this? I mean, it's pretty spectacular, and I don't know, I guess, the idea of retirement before it happened was just a word, It never had the same impact as it does now that I am retired, because now I see and experience retirement, and it still feels like a foreign concept that, I can drive around and do the things I'm doing. Yeah, I'm on a budget, but I'm trying to work to stay within. And I don't know, it's just amazing. I just feel so fortunate and inspired. I can't wait to see what the next, days will bring and show me. It's just, and I love the pace. I could go out, hike wherever, park wherever, camp wherever, stay, up to X amount of days, free, just roaming. Some people call it self-isolating. But anyways, I'm just, I mean, how cool is all of this, right? And I'm just standing in one location. I'm touched by it. Yeah, blueberry grazing. They pick them right off the plant. Blueberries all over here. Not just here, but I mean in this location. Earlier today I made a video and I mentioned the word retired. And then I said that prior to retiring was really just a word with it. I still kind of find it hard to believe after 2.5 years. Well, 2 and a bit anyways, of retirement, that I'm retired, that I'm actually, able to do the things that I'm doing. Mind you, I'm on a budget, which I'm kind of sucking at sticking with. Anyways, it's a work in progress. So I am, so fortunate, and like I said, I just have a hard time grasping that I'm retired. Or is it they just wanted me gone? Some of my coworkers might debate that. And I've been traveling ever since, more or less. Even despite COVID, I've actually lucked out in a big way, and being in the right places at the right time, if you will, where I'm doing what I enjoy doing and exploring and seeing new sights and nature and meeting new people even. It's been amazing. And right now I'm sitting in Tombstone under a high of 9 degrees, really cold wind, and it's rained on us when we're out hiking, just a random hike. But it's beautiful here just the same. And it's like September 2nd, I think. So, yeah, retirement. I remember when I was a kid, that, we said in school that one day robots and computers would make it so that we'd all be able to live a life, more free of restraints, but that is not the case. And it also all depends where you were born, what country you're in. We still have poverty and war and the same things as ever. And our species just can't thrive without those things, it seems. And I don't see us thriving for super long. But who am I? But just a traveler. And I am looking outside while I say these words. I don't know if this will work. The reds are gone and the yellows are in. There's still some red, but most of it's turning brown. And that's my thought for the day. Every now and then I just inadvertently throw out the word I'm retired. Or something about retired. And so this afternoon, while it's been raining, I've been giving some of that some thought. Because it's such a vague, fast word or definition to it, even though the dictionary could probably sum it up in a few words, but for us individually, it could mean different things. And when you think about retirement, when I thought about it before I retired, it was just a word. We all have basic ideas of what that might be or look like, but until you actually hit it and you're there, then it's a whole new ball of wax, if you will. It really is a whole new. It's not a chapter in your life; it's a whole new book. You've been going to work for half a third of your life, and it's been a routine. It's all you've known until that day, and then it's gone. And it just seems odd that that I've been bopping around, Canada and the United States in my RV, seeing amazing things and experiencing wonderful outdoor nature and meeting great people along the way. It's a gift. It's been awesome. It's more than I expected and ever thought to, and it's a shame that not more people are getting to that place. It just is strange or weird feeling to know that there's no concept of having to go to work. I suppose if I wanted more money, like I know some coworkers, know what they've been living at and they want to live at that same income. Hey, whatever. Life is short. You got to do what works for you, and the more power to you. As long as you get to that happy place and you're good with those choices. And life is a lot about choices. You can make one choice, and that one choice will alter your life forever. And I have coworkers who have made choices, and they are not in the place that they wish they were today because of those choices. It's unfortunate, but it's also part of life. And some people tell me, I've worked 30 years, I've earned my retirement, and I never feel that. There are people who have worked harder than I have now and over the years. There are people who have made more sacrifices, both mentally, physically, and both, like veterans, for example, and they deserve something more than they deserve something. Me, I'm just Joe average. I just made a choice about where I would try and get employment. And that's why, I have a retirement package. But, I'm still young. I retired at 56. And I kind of joke about it to myself because, they had that thing where you Freedom 55, and it was a pretty average, commercial, but you never give that even a ton of thought. It was just like catchy little phrase in a way, like Freedom 55. But here I am. So I'm thankful that I'm young enough, healthy enough to enjoy what I really find fun, like, getting out and canoeing, getting out and hiking, driving all these places and seeing amazing sights of nature and history of the planet, if you will. It's just been amazing. And I still like, that word still, has a funny ring to it to me, retirement. I have my mom, stay-at-home mom. She has since passed. When us kids left the nest, there was no retirement package for her. My dad and my stepdad, he's his own business in the trades, and he worked pretty much right up until he had a stroke, and now that's altered his life for sure. Kind of a forced retirement, but that's not really retirement either, because he can't do the things he might have wanted to do in retirement if he even had a grasp of what that might look like, or that he ever thought he would get to that place. Because his parents never knew retirement. My mom's parents never knew retirement. So I am very grateful for the choices I made, and that I have a retirement package, and hopefully I won't spend it all in one place. But it's still a trip in itself to know that you are. So I'm touched by that. Hope more people find it and find what works for them and be in that happy place and at peace with everything, and take life as it comes. Cheers. So going through the videos, I came across these ones on retirement, and I watched them, and apparently, I've come to realize that often when I'm reflecting, sometimes I record myself. I don't know if I intended to watch them and then see what I said to have feedback to myself, but anyways, they're sitting in there, so I thought, after watching, I was like, yeah, you know what, yeah, I want to speak to retirement. So this is the tail end of that. 2 years later, a little bit more than 2 years, it's September, almost the end of, and I'm in southern Alberta amongst the, I guess, part of the Rockies, and making this video out in the middle of nowhere. No cellular, nothing. We just had a bit of snow today, and retirement is real. Don't underestimate it. People ask me, do I get lonely out here? You know what? I know co-workers who've gotten lonely and depressed in retirement, in their own home, in their own town, place they've been living and working from. You lose your structure when you retire. You're no longer doing the 9-to-5 routine or shift works or what have you. It's gone. The people you may not consider to be great friends, but co-workers, you interacted with them every day that you worked. And you couldn't wait to retire and put all that, to rest. But then when you retired, what am I going to do next? I've cut the grass 10 times already. You know what I mean? So I knew that, or had an idea of that. So I started to look into growing into woodworking. And I ended up selling everything because unexpectedly, I'm full-time RV. So early on too, I stopped saying to people that I was just meeting randomly as I traveled that I was retired, because I didn't realize how many people older than me are not going to have a retirement package. They're going to be relying on CPP, Canadian Pension Plan, and whatever else they might have dribbling in. So I was like, oh, wow, that's unfortunate. So mom was the word. Unless I got in a conversation and we're getting to know each other, then, sure, it's going to come up in topic. I work in an auto plant, so I knew a lot of people. You transfer a little bit from team to team. You can easily transfer from one department to another. You got thousands of people working at an auto plant. And I know people who never made it to retirement. I know people who have already died. And we all got hired about the same time. So there are people I know that died in less than a year and a bit. And even one person took his life. Cancer, just medical issues that happen, So retirement comes, it's a big change. Be ready for it. Decide before it comes what you're going to do. Because you don't want to end up like some of my coworkers in lonely and depressed and have to go for counseling. I mean, it's great that you can get counseling and go from there, but it just shows you how easily you could be lonely in your own house that you've been in forever. Choices. You got to find a path. You got to try something. If it doesn't work out, try something else. Get going on stuff. At least in an auto plant with a lot of workers, I know co-workers get together once a month and they chat it up, and that's awesome. I wish I could partake in it more than I am, because I'm all over the map between Canada and the US traveling. I just wanted to add too, you're gonna live your life. It is your life. I just recently helped a friend search out and buy an RV for her traveling. She's gonna retire, in a year or so. She's actually gonna use it for 4 months next year, and then shortly thereafter retire. And she's not gonna full-time or anything, but she's gonna get out there. And she was nervous about spending that kind of money. She's in good position, so she has a plan. But that's part of it, you gotta get out there and get past those jitters or excuses, and just make sure if you're going to try something. Like, she bought a really good RV. She got a good price, good condition. She'll have no trouble selling it if it should go astray for her, or life changes that she can't do it. But she is. So that's my recommend. Go do something. Get on that path, and hey, it's a great part of life to start exploring and trying and seeing new things. So we three are. So that's my conclusion on retirement as far as I can think of. But I just wanted to say, hey, if you don't, time keeps ticking faster than you know it. And then, dust in the wind. Oh, I mean, for me, even too, is like, I've always canoed. Mostly whitewater, a bit of tripping in the beginning, and then a lot of whitewater canoeing over the years. And then I got back into canoe tripping, and I did some hiking in association with the canoe trips, because we were in the Yukon and the Northwest Territories. You want to maximize your time up in the mountains, so canoe to somewhere, hike, and just hang out. And that's one thing too, I never thought to in retirement, it's just how much hiking I'd end up doing. I've never considered myself a hiker. And I still don't completely consider myself a hiker, because a lot of hikers like to set goals of they're going to do the divide, or they're going to conquer this. Name mountains or routes that were... No, I'm just hiking wherever I am. I'm going to go make my hikes most times. If I can find some on All Trails or Gaia, I'll look into them, but I never stay on them. I always end up straying. So I'm hiking a lot, but not as a hiker per se. I don't overnight yet. I do have the gear to do it. I like to try it with the dogs, but that's another unexpected surprise is how much hiking I ended up doing in retirement. You know, and part of it too is how much I explore the areas that I camp. So if you want to see more of that, then I'd stay watching, subscribe, and like. Gotcha.